Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class on Saturday. We are on chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized. We'll be doing verse 31 onwards today, 2.31 onwards. So, let's do a summary of what Krishna says and what we have done so far. In the first section of Bhagavad Gita, in terms of Krishna's instruction to Arjun, Krishna from 2.11 to 2.30 described Arjun, do not lament because all souls are destructible, right? And they are irreversible. They are immutable. And he has given various attributes to convince Arjun and all of us that don't lament for the soul or don't lament for the body, because the body is a temporary covering on the soul. So after describing this, now Krishna takes the discussion to the next level, to a higher level. What is that? In this level, Krishna describes, if we know that I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, okay, I understand, but how do I act in life? Sometimes people say that this this material existence is considered to be the illusion. It is temporary, it is transitory. Okay, it is temporary, it is transitory, but how am I supposed to live? How do I come out of this illusion? It is not that today I hear I am not this body, I am a soul, and tomorrow I stop acting in bodily platform. No, that is not possible. I can try to avoid acting on bodily platform, but still I have to live in the material body as long as I have this body. And only at the end I will become liberated. So how do I go about doing this? So for that, one needs to work carefully, one needs to work systematically. So how to do this? One need to think how I have to raise from bodily consciousness or conception to the first, in that is karma, to raise from bodily conception. So first in that is karma kanda, which means Arjun, you are not indestructible, therefore you should fight, do your duty and attain victory, attain glory. So here, by acting on karma kanda level, karma kanda provides material enjoyment, but it is in the dharmic framework. It leads to gradual elevation. So the section from 31 to 38, 2.31 to 2.38 is answering Arjun's second argument, which was enjoyment. I will not be able to enjoy. That's what he said. If I fight and kill my relatives, I'll not be able to enjoy. So Krishna says, no, if you don't fight, you will not be able to enjoy as well. That is what is Krishna is going to describe from 2.31 to 2.38. Okay. Any question before we begin from here onwards? So in Karma Kanda means what? Everything about the karma that you are doing, how you act in this material world, in the bodily existence of the body and the soul, which are together in this life. When the soul is in this body, that time, it is not like the devotees don't look forward to their promotions. They don't look forward to a good salary. They don't look forward to a better job. They do everything. However, the ultimate aim is what? That I want to go for a better job so that I can earn more money, so that I can retire early and put myself into more devotional service, more into devotional act. And use that money to do the Krishna consciousness work, like making our home as a temple, serve the deities at home, serve our family as the devotees of the Krishna, serve the society as so that they can become good devotees of Krishna by way of feeding the prasadam, by way of bringing them to Krishna consciousness, by giving them the message of Krishna consciousness. So these are all the activities that one can do in order to serve in this material world by living in this body. It does not mean that, oh, I am not this body, I am the spirit soul, so I will not do anything for tomorrow. So that is not how to work. We have to think differently in the sense that we don't want to remain in this illusion that once the body goes away, the soul also goes away. No, that is not the concept. So that's why Krishna has given so many examples and then given so many scriptural injunctions to us that how one should behave in that way. You know, the soul is not destructible, soul is not immutable, soul is not irreversible like that. Only we can't clothe the soul, etc., etc. So many things Krishna has given. So now Krishna is answering the second question of the enjoyment. Now he's thinking, he means Arjun's thinking that if I am not in the bodily consciousness or I am in the body now, how do I act now? How am I going to enjoy this material world by having this body for me? So that is the conceptual understanding that Krishna is going to give from 31 onwards. Okay. So we will chant this verse and we'll go from here. स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्म्यादियुद्धाश्रेयो
धर्मज्ञाधियुध्याश्रेयो
ज्ञातक्षत्रियस्न विद्यते
ज्ञातक्षत्रियस्न विद्यते
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष
स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्माधियुद्धाश्रेयो
धर्माद्धियुद्धाश्रेयो
अन्तक्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
अन्त्यक्षत्रियो न विद्यते
न विद्यते
One line at a time. स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
स्वधर्ममपि
स्वधर्ममपि
चावेक्ष्य
चावेक्ष्य न
विकम्पितुमर्हसि
विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्माद्धियुद्धाश्रेयो अन्तक्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
धर्म्यार्धिवृद्धिश्रेयो
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
Yeah. Once again. स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न
विकम्पितुमर्हसि
विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्म्याद्धियुद्धाश्रेयो अन्तक्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
धर्म्यार्धिवृद्धिश्रेयो क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
Full shloka in one go. So I can't see the faces of Madhavi and Devilina.
You can say hello now.
Sarvadharma Swadharmamapi chaveksha न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्यादि युद्धाश्रेयो अन्तक्षत्रियश्च न विद्यते
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न
विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्मयुद्धाश्रेयो
न विद्यते
विद्यते
Word to word. Swadharmam. One's own religious principles.
Swadharma,
one own
one's
religious
religion
principle.
principles.
Api also.
Api
Api
also.
also.
Cha indeed.
Cha
Yeah,
indeed.
indeed.
Aviksha considering.
Aviksha
Aviksha
considering.
considering.
Na never.
Na
never.
Never.
Vikampitum to hesitate.
become to
Become to
hesitate.
hesitate.
Arhasi you deserve.
Arhasi
Arhasi,
you
you
deserve.
deserve.
Dharmyat for religious principles.
Dharmana,
That for religious
religious purpose.
principles.
He indeed.
He indeed.
Indeed.
Yuddhat then fighting.
Yuddha
Yuddha,
than
than
fighting.
fighting.
Shreya better engagement.
Shreya better
Better
engagement.
engagement.
Anyat any other.
Anyat any other.
Kshatriyasya of the Kshatriya.
Kshatriyasya of the Kshatriya.
Na does not.
No,
Na
does not.
does not.
Vidyate exist.
Vidyate
This
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. I read it again. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. So, Rishi, I would like you to read, please.
Hare Krishna. Out of the 4 orders of social administration, the second order for the matter of good administration is called Kshatriya. Kshat means hurt. One who gives protection from harm is called Kshatriya. Trayate, to give protection. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight with the tiger with his sword. When the tiger was killed, it would be offered to the royal order of cremation. This system has been followed even up to present day by Kshatriya kings of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are specially trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyasa or renunciation. Non-violence in politics may be a diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle. In the religious law books, as it is stated, Ahavesu mitho nyonam
Yunyam.
nyonyam jigam santo mahi kshitaha yuddhamanna param saktya swargam yanti aparan mukha yajnesu pasavo brahman hanyate satatam dvijahe samskratah kila mantraischa tepi swargam avappanuvan.
Very good.
In the battlefield, a king or kshatriya, while fighting another king envious of him, is eligible for achieving the heavenly planets after death. As the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planets by sacrificing animals in the sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battlefield on religious principles and killing animals in the sacrificial fire are not at all considered to be acts of violence, because everyone is benefited by the religious principles involved. An animal sacrifice gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another. And the Kshatriyas killed on the battlefield also attain the heavenly planets, as do the Brahmanas who attain them by offering sacrifice. There are two kinds of swadharmas, specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's swadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. In the bodily conception of life, there are specific duties for Brahmanas and Kshatriyas respectively, as such duties are unavoidable. Swadharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the 4th chapter. On the bodily plane, Swadharma is called Varnashrama Dharma, or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma, or specific duties in terms of specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the orders of higher authorities serves to elevate one to a higher status of life.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Ashish. So, Krishna is actually pointing towards, and Prabhupada is very rightly, commented there that Varnashrama Dharma, which is actually created by Krishna himself. It is called Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam. It says Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So this Varnashrama Dharma is created actually by me. That's what Krishna says. What are those 4 Varnas? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So this 4 Varnas I have created in order to run the society in unison. So these 4 Varnas I have created in order to work and create a social environment, and they all should work together to take this forward. Now, the Brahmana is supposed to give shiksha. They should be giving, this should be teaching. It is their dharma. Okay. Kshatriya is supposed to do the administration job. They are doing the admin jobs. Or they are protectors, basically. So that's why Kshatriyas are always in the army or these kind of duties, and they are administrators because they are strong enough and they can do this kind of work. So Kshatriyas are doing this work. Then Brahmana, as I already said, that they are the teachers and they are giving the shiksha. Kshatriya is doing the protection and doing the admin jobs. Vaishya is doing the vyapar or business. So that is their Vaishya is doing this kind of activities. Now, Kshudra is supposed to do the labor job. All the hard work is done by the laborers. But it does not mean that who is up and who is down. No, there was no distinction when Krishna has created this. However, the mankind has done the, further bifurcation in this by way of creating casteism in this. This Brahmana is up and Kshatriya is down, or sometimes Kshatriya says that no, we are up, Brahmanas are working for us. Brahmana आएगा पूजा करेगा और चला जाएगा, like, so that is what their understanding. Then Vaishya thinks that if I don't do the business, what Kshatriyas and what Brahmanas are going to do, and who will go to give the work to Shudras? Vaishya will show his own, lordship. He's lording over things, which are actually given to us all by Krishna himself. This universe, this earth, this, land, the water, the air, everything has been given by Krishna. We get up in the morning, sun rises. Yeah. Then the afternoon happens, sun goes up at 12 o'clock, it is always on the top, and it is giving the highest amount of heat that time. Morning it is slow, and then slowly it goes up, and then again it further goes down, and then evening happens, and then night. Yeah. Does it mean that sun is not there? Sun is always there. The arrangement he has made in such a way that earth is moving around an axle, and it is moving. So we see that the morning, afternoon, this happens. Apart from that, there is another concept, is all the seasons are happening without fail. Without fail, they are happening. The autumn comes at the time of the autumn. The winter comes when the winter is supposed to be coming. So everything is working under the order. See, you will bring a washing machine. Will it start automatically working the moment it comes to home? No, you have to put the clothes in. You have to switch on the electric. You have to put into electrical switch socket, and then switch on the socket. Connect the water pipe into it. Open the water, and then put the clothes, and then put soap in the soap dispenser, and then put the clothes, and then shut the door, and you press the start button. Then only, now the machines are intelligent. They calculate that what kind of clothes you have put in. So according to the weight, it will calibrate, and then it will say, oh, these are the cottons, so I will take only this time, this long to wash the clothes. So all these are man-made thing, but the intelligence comes from Krishna. This Varna has come from Krishna. So nothing in terms of what is happening in the world is not happening automatically. It is happening because of somebody is there behind it. So similarly, Krishna says that Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhakashaha. Maya system, it is my Srishti. And I have created this. I have created these 4 Varnas so that they can work in order. And for what? To do the Krishna consciousness together. One will do this, one will do this, one will do this. Like a team leader, we give the responsibilities to everyone, right? You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, like that, so that the work will be done on the right time, and it will be give the results. You will deliver this particular work on the given time. So that is the project plan. So like this, when we see, so there is somebody behind the washing machine's creation. There is somebody behind the creation of microwave oven. Like this, so there is somebody who is behind this entire nature as well, and that is God. We have never heard, oh, today, sun is not going to come. It is on leave. No. But there are certain situations where you have drought, where you have floods. So all this because we have started playing up with the natural sources, where you have, global warming is happening, and this happening, and that happening. So because of that, when you play around with the resources which are provided by the Lord, then these unknown things which are not, we have never thought about them, they will happen. So here Krishna says, Swadharmam api chaveksha. Aveksha means thinking about, perceiving. Swadharmam api chaveksha, if you consider your specific dharma or swadharma, Brahman has their specific dharma, Kshatriya has their own, etc. So, what we will find? Na vikampitum arhasi. Kampa means trembling. Vikampa. So, there is no need for you to hesitate. So you don't need to hesitate, Arjun. There is no need for your to compan. Don't have to tremble, start trembling by knowing all this. Because he started trembling. Na vikampitum arhasi. So it is not only external compan. Arjun was saying, my limbs are quivering. My body is trembling. And that external trembling was because of internal weakness. And Krishna is actually doing a counselor's job here, and he's giving the reasoning behind that why are you doing this, because of your thinking. The thinking is only on the material platform. So that kampan, if you consider your swadharma, why dharmyadhi yuddhach shreyo jnata, from the point of view of dharma yuddha, there is no greater than shreya. Kshatriyasya na vidyate. If you are a Kshatriya, your dharma is to fight. And what is the reward of fight? That you get the Shreya. Isn't it? So when you get the Shreya, the hard work that we do in our offices at work, what is the Shreya that we get? We get a promotion or we get a salary hike. We get some bonus like that. So when we get that Shreya, it creates happiness in us. Our mind is happy. Our body is happy. Our family becomes very happy. You have done a great job. We all love you so much. So when you get the Shreya, they all start loving you much more. But see, the end result is when you do something, when you do your dharma and you get the Shreya, you will become happy, others will become happy, and you are doing it for Shreya, actually. And that is the rule of Karma Kanda. So, if you look at the 2.7, Arjun surrendered and asked, what is my Shreya? What is my long-term goal? So then Krishna talks about multiple level of Shreya. But here he's saying for a Kshatriya, there can be no higher good than the righteous war dharma yuddha. Kshatriyasya na vidyate. So all of us in our current life have two sets of duties. Swadharma and Varnashrama dharma. So the Swadharma can be referred to the material duties. And the process of Varnashrama dharma, a duty towards parents, children, and the family, immediate family, that is wife, children. The second dharma is sadhana bhakti, the spiritual duties, our process of sadhana by which we realize our spiritual nature. That is sadhana bhakti. So what we have to look at that there are three things. One is sadhya, sadhana, and sadhaka. See, three words I said. Sadhya is what? Sadhya is Krishna. Sadhaka is the devotee, the one who is practicing Krishna consciousness. Sadhya, sadhaka. And the process by which he is doing the process of worship is sadhana. The sadhana bhakti is the process by which you are doing the sadhana. So that process is chanting the mantra, doing your rounds properly, doing your arati at the right time, offering food to Krishna every day. So that is the sadhana that we are doing, not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, for the entire life we are doing it. And we keep on increasing our sadhana bhakti because the love is not done at the first time only, it keeps on increasing, because as you start loving Krishna, Krishna starts loving you more. And the love will always increase. The increment we will only understand when we start doing that activity of loving exchanges between a devotee and Krishna. So there are bellows, which we will understand later on, which is a parental love. There is then there is a friendly relationship with Krishna. Then there is a motherly love, like that is what comes under parental relationship. There is a loving relationship with Krishna, between Radharani and Krishna. So all these bellows are different, So we need to understand that in a different context, and we will talk about that when we reach there, but not in the today's topic. But the point I'm trying to make, that if we know our duty as a sadhaka, that we have to do our sadhana in order to attain sadhya, that sadhya is Krishna. Sadhya, sadhak, and sadhana. So will remember this now? Yeah, easy to understand now. So the process is sadhana. So that sadhana bhakti and swadharma, that swadharma bhakti. Swadharma is also a kind of bhakti that you are doing towards your parents, towards your family. So that is one part that you have to do. So that the two parts. So Srila Prabhupada in his purpose had mentioned that where he has quoted from scriptures and says that actually for Kshatriya to die in battlefield, and for a Brahman to perform yajna, and sannyasi to lay the body at the end of sannyas, all these are very auspicious. So, of course, there is here Srila Prabhupada quotes two specific things in Kshatriyas. What does he quote? Prabhupada quotes that specific things are Kshatriya and a Brahman. So, if Brahman does a yajna, there is some fault in it. Still, the Brahmana will be elevated because the Brahman is following the path of dharma. Even if a Kshatriya has to kill in a course of a dharmic battle, the Kshatriya will be elevated because he is doing under the order of Krishna. Brahmana is also doing under the order of Krishna. So then you will not be punished. You will still be elevated. So in scriptures, there are references to animal sacrifice, which Srila Prabhupada has explained based on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chandkazi's discussion in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is what Rishi read. There is a conflict, a tug of war between principle of ahimsa, and there are scriptures, and at the same time in yajna, animal sacrifices are done. So animals were killed in various ways, sometimes by mantra animals were killed, or just chanting some mantra, a living animal falls down, and sometimes by weapon. But if they were killed in proper way, they will be elevated to higher body because they have died in righteous dharmic context. Beyond that, there is always inclination from Manusmriti onwards to avoid animal sacrifice completely. For example, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, when they talk about the animal sacrifices, they say that actually these sacrifices are meant for those who wanted meat eating. This was a kind of regulation, and those who do not want sacrifices, they can use other things. For example, instead of animal sacrifice, a replica of animal so can be made by atta, by flour, grains, etc. You must have seen, people, those who don't have apatya. Apatya means who don't have any kids, and if the wife dies, So what they create, I mean, in the Karma Kanda section of, they create a putla of atta. Atta gund ke wo banate hain, and then they create kind of a puppet kind of thing, and then that is also that is used as a apatya, which is used for giving the agni. So these are, the various things which are written in our scriptures, and they are authentic. It's not man-made just for the sake of doing it. We are doing it. So like this, there are acharyas like Ramanayacharya, Madhvacharya, and they all have written this specifically and mentioned that why it has to be done. So the replicas are created instead of doing the animal sacrifice. So Mother Kali is Vaishnavi. Durga is Vaishnavi. Janumohini. So Srimad Bhagavatam says Kali is her rupa in more ugra form. She doesn't like blood, but people like flesh and blood to eat. So she accepts that. But those who wanted to avoid it, it is told that you give something red to her. So it is mentioned that red color flower should be offered to her instead of blood. So in general, acharyas directly do not reject certain things if they are given in Vedas, but they contextualize them. For example, in second chapter, Krishna says, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. Krishna told Arjun to go beyond three modes of material nature. So how within the context it can be understood is what we are trying to understand by Srila Prabhupada's purport. So Kshatriya is they die in the righteous war. What will be elevated? They don't mean that Kshatriya has to provoke war to get elevated. They'll just, take a fight with somebody and then fight. No, that is not the right way of. When you are fighting for dharma, then only you can be elevated. You cannot be elevated just like that. Take a war with somebody and start fighting and say that no, I'll be elevated. No, that is not the way. Any questions? Okay. Can we move to the next verse? Devlina?
Yes.
Okay, so what verse did I say the last?
31.
No. I pointed out to some verse, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. So that's what I was talking about. And other than that, also I have said that some verse in which he says Maya Srishti. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma.
So if this is
Here.
based on segregation of duties, why do people say, oh, someone from this varna shouldn't marry this one, someone from that varna?
Yeah, so I mean, see, these are all the things that people need to understand that why it has to be done. There is no written documentation of that sort.
It's just based on duty. What has it got to do with, like, marrying someone? If some Shudra wants to marry a Brahmana, why do people have so much problem with it?
See, these are all man-made things, right?
Okay.
It is not as per the Shastra. Shastra only says that you can go and match the horoscope so that nothing bad should happen in the life.
Okay.
How many gunas to be met? No, there are 31 gunas, out of which minimum 17 or 18 should be met. Like
Okay.
that. कोई देखा है क्या ठाकुर?
Thakur?
No, nothing. You didn't
आपके
understand.
जमाने के रेफरेंस दोगे तो कैसे समझ आएगा प्रभु जी? ठाकुर.
Can I add
हमारे
quickly?
Thakur will be Kshatriya, right?
Kshatriya.
Verse 32. Yaduchaya chopapannam
Yadachaya chopapannam
swargadvaramapavritam
swargadvaram avritam
स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं
sukhina kshatriyar partha
sukhina kshatriya
क्षत्रियपात्र
labhante yuddhamidvasham
labhante
लभन्ते युध्यमेतशः
yudhramidvasham
yaduchaya chopapannam
yadachaya
यदुच्छया
chopapannam
सोपपन्ना
swargadvaramapavritam
स्वर्गद्वारं
yadadvaramapavritam
sukhina kshatriyah partha
sukhina kshatriya partha
क्षत्रियपात्र
लभन्ते युद्धमिद्वशम्
लभन्ते युध्यमेतशः
yudhramidvasham
युद्धच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम्
युद्धच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम्
स्वर्गद्वारं
सुखिनः क्षत्रिया पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमेद्विषम्
Sukhina
क्षत्रिया पार्थ
लभन्ते
लभन्ते
युद्धमेतशः
युद्धमिद्विषम्
यदुच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमेद्विषम्
यद्यच्छया चोपपन्नं
Chopapanam
स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम्
Sargadvaram
सुखिनः
Sukhina
क्षत्रिया
Kshatriya
पार्थ
Patra
लभन्ते
लभन्ते
युद्धमेतशः
युद्धमिद्विषम्
Word to word. Yadachaya by its own accord.
यद्रक्षया by its own accord.
by its own accord.
Cha also.
Cha also.
Also.
Upapannam arrived at.
Upapannam
Arrived
arrived
at.
at.
Swarga of the heavenly planets.
of the
Swarga
Swarga
of
of
the
the
heavenly
Heavenly
planets.
planet.
Dwaram, door.
Dwaram,
Dwaram
door.
door.
Apavritam, wide open.
Apavritam, wide
Wide
open.
open.
Sukhinaha, very happy.
Sukhina
Sukhina,
very
very
happy.
Very
happy.
happy.
Kshatriya, the members of the royal order.
Kshatriya,
Kshatriya,
The
members
members
of
of
the
members
the
of the
royal
royal
royal order.
order.
Partha, O son of Pratha.
Parth,
Parth
O
or
son of
son of
Pratha.
Pratha.
Labhante, do achieve.
Labhante
Labhante,
to
to
achieve.
achieve.
Yuddham, war.
Yudhyam.
Yudham,
Or
Idrisham, like this.
Idrisham,
something like
like
this.
this.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, upon opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. So he's giving now another example, here, that you should not be scared of this war. This is actually giving you an opportunity. Repeat, O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns attitude of Arjun, who said, I do not find any good things in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statements by Arjun were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya, to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parasha Smriti, or religious codes made by Parashar Muni, the great sage or father of Vyasadeva, it is stated, Kshatriyo hi prajarakshan, Kshatrapani pradanyam, nirjityapara sanyadi, Kshatim dharmena palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties. And for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable case for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings. And thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. Considering all aspects, Arjun had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets. So whose doors were wide open to him? Fighting would be for his benefit in either case. So for him, the fight or non-fight, not fight, in both the cases, he was in profit, right? He was not losing anything. In both the cases, he was getting the heavenly planet. Dying in front of Krishna in the battlefield is such a good opportunity. So he had both the opportunities, either by killing others and then die, or killing others and take the shreya of winning. It's such a big shreya. And even if you are not able to kill all of them and you die, you're still dying in front of Krishna, so you get the elevation again. You're going to heavenly planet anyway. Or maybe you're going to Golok Vrindavan. It's such even it is beneficial than anything else. So if we go deeper into it, so Yadichaya Chopap Annam Upapannam means arrived at. Yadichaya is by its own arrangement. By its own arrangement. So by the course of nature, so if war has appears by the arrangement of nature, then it opens the door of Swarga anyway. The Swarga Dwaram apavritam. So Sukhina Kshatriyaha Partha. So Arjun, those Kshatriyas are very happy. Labhante yutham idishtam. Labhante. So they get labha when such opportunities come their way. You know. So now if you just imagine all the people in the Arjuna's side as well as on the Duryodhana's side, they all are there and everybody is listening to what Krishna is talking to Arjun. Everyone was able to understand what they are talking to each other? They may be, isn't it? But why Krishna? Only Arjun had a lot of questions because he was thinking about all the people, those who were in his side. He was not only thinking about his side or himself or his family. He was even thinking about the opposite party. And Krishna is also answering the question for everyone. So all of them wanted to attain heaven. So when they wanted to attain heaven, how will they attain heaven? Then can attain only when they lead the life of a dharma and punya, and after that there is a process of gradual detachment and eventually they will attain heaven. But if they get an opportunity to fight in a war of dharma, and even if they die in it, they will get heaven. So it's a dharmic war. It's an opportunity for heaven. It is an opportunity where door for heaven are already open for you. Then why do you worry? So Krishna is saying Kshatriya should be happy that they get a glorious destination So they should be happy. So Krishna is saying, Arjun, do not lament. Why are you hesitating to fight? We may wonder why Krishna is glorifying heaven here, because we say that devotees should not go to Swarga. As for devotees, Kevalya Mukti is also insignificant. Akasha Pushpam. Prabodhananda Saraswati says that with respect to devotional service, everything else is insignificant. Heavenly pleasures are like Akasha Pushpa. And happiness of liberation is like Kevalyam Narakayate. So we know from our philosophy that spiritual happiness is the topmost Vaikuntha or Golok, is the aspiration. Then why Krishna is glorifying Swarga over here? This is because Krishna is giving knowledge step by step. He's not just giving you directly the degree of masters, He's not handing over you London School of Economics degree directly. Slowly, he is giving you the knowledge. So right now, he has not talked about the knowledge of liberation. He's talking only about someone want to material enjoyment, still heaven is there. And when he can enjoy heaven, as Arjuna has asked, how will enjoy without my relative? So Krishna is saying, if enjoyment you want, and he is not changing the definition of enjoyment for Arjuna, he is not saying, oh, material enjoyment is false and you should enjoy spirituality. You should enjoy the spiritual enjoyment. So he's not coming to that level. So even if you want material enjoyment, you can still get it. So Mahabharata, of which Bhagavad Gita is a part, is largely on Karma Kanda, means do dharma by which you will get artha and kama. And of course, then you get the moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. There are 4 things that everyone looks forward to. So Srila Prabhupada is also, mentioned Parashara Smriti's one quote, Kshatriyo hi praja shakshan shastra padhi pradanyana nirjitya parasanyadi kshatrim dharman pirayeta. So Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties. And for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings. And thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. So what is the duty of Kshatriya? Praja Rakshan. Protect the Praja. Srila Prabhupada always says, Praja doesn't mean only human being. It means all the beings who are there in the kingdom. Right? Even the zoo, all the animals in the zoo, animals outside the zoo, there are animals in the human beings as well. But when you are Kshatriya, you are supposed to protect everyone. So Krishna here is telling Arjuna, by this you will attain auspiciousness, you will attain heaven. Because here the discussion is totally concentrated upon the heavenly abode. That's why Krishna is also concentrating more on the heaven. So, any question? Yeah, Rishi, Sarodi Mataji, Madhavi, Devlina, no question. Okay. I think we should close here because class is getting longer. It's already 2:40 because Devlina didn't join on time. So that's why it's going. So,
You people were gossiping about India-Pakistan war. I just left you guys to have a chat.
Give some reason. Okay, anyway. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.